All right, these are images coming to you from the border, the Attari-Wagah border. This is the Pakistani side that we're showing you images from. An Indian Air Force team has in fact reached the Attari-Wagah border to receive Wing Commander Abhinandan Varthaman, who will be arriving there, escorted there by the Indian Air Force attaché in Islamabad in just a short while from now. I want to go across to Preeti Chaudhary, who's on the ground at Wagah for more. Preeti, do we have an update on when the handover process is going to take place, and where is Wing Commander Abhinandan at this time?
All right, so what we do know is that he's reached Wagah. What you can see right in front is we just saw, Shiv, an Air Force convoy go. Now there is a military convoy that is going to it'll be an entire cavalcade of one Air Force convoy, one military army convoy is what we are getting in. Where he is right now, word coming in from my colleague Hamza, is that Wing Commander Abhinandan has in fact reached Wagah. Anytime we should be getting visuals from there. Visuals of his convoy, which we are playing right now, I'm sure we already have. A lot of security suddenly beefed up here. You know, the dholes have been told to calm down a bit because a lot of action that we can see around us. Having said that, Shiv, what's interesting is, and a lot of people are asking that if the beating retreat ceremony is on schedule for Pakistan, why is India that has cancelled it? I just want to bring in, Shiv, right now, Anand Patel. He's getting in more word. We've been trying to get in touch with our colleague Hamza because we're just about 10 kilometers apart. We are on this side of the border. My colleague Hamza's on the other side. So this is where, I'll just tell you why we are stationed here, because this is where Wing Commander Abhinandan is going to be, he's going to come out in a cavalcade of the Air Force, of the Army, and would be taken to the Air Force base in Amritsar. Just to take you through the protocol, I want to just bring in Anand Patel, who's been tracking developments from the morning. Anand, come in.
Yeah, so basically this is the integrated check post where the Air Force authorities have gone inside, and they'll be led to the Attari-Wagah border along with the BSF officials, and from there Wing Commander Abhinandan would be handed over by the Park Rangers and the Pakistani authorities to the Indian authorities, and then he'll be brought to the integrated check post, and from there the Air Force officials along with this military convoy will proceed to the air base, we are told, and from where he'll be flown to New Delhi. So this is what we are hearing. Debriefing, will it take place at the air base or not? That's not confirmed. And also the medical examination for sure would happen at the air base. So this is what is the protocol. As of now, we are getting to hear from our local BSF intelligence people. But certainly, this has turned out to be one big day for Wing Commander Abhinandan, back to his homeland within 48 hours, after spending this time in the Pakistani detention and on the enemy soil after he was shot down on the 26th of February while chasing a F-16 Pakistani jet. Certainly, he's now turned out to be a hero of sorts because his heroic tales are being narrated by eyewitnesses there in Pakistan, in POK, who chased him, and they've also told the media there that how he swallowed those important documents which didn't allow the Pakistani any access, and also he drowned some of the documents which he was carrying in a pond, and then he raised the slogan of Bharat Mata Ki Jai on a foreign soil, which is something very, very heroic. And then he tried to run away towards the Indian border once he came to know that it's a foreign country, it's a foreign land, and he was chased down. Remember, he didn't surrender. He also fired some shots from his personal pistol after he was chased down by the Pakistani army and the locals there. So he's now a legend, no doubt about this. And that's the reason why you can see a lot of excitement here at the Attari-Wagah border. A lot of people who have turned up here to cheer him up, welcome. Abhinandan for Abhinandan. This is what they are calling Preeti.
All right, what I'll also tell you is, Shiv, so everyone, because we saw people go in by the hundreds today, a lot of them with cutouts of Wing Commander Abhinandan. I'll ask Ravikant to just for a brief while, position his camera on the left-hand side and show, people who've now lined up. So, as far as my look goes, so we are cordoned off in the, a little on the side. We're just cordoned off a bit. But, if you can get a glimpse, people have started lining up. on the side of the roads, still holding cutouts, Indian flags, a lot of chants going up for Wing Commander Abhinandan already, because the wait has been quite long, Shiv. We've been expecting him here since about 10:30 a.m. this morning. Once again, interesting to note, a lot of there's an ambulance right there as well, right in front of us. An ambulance is also at play. There is a lot of vehicles of the Punjab police. And inside we saw a convoy, I think it was the Bihar regiment if I'm not wrong, an army convoy. Right before that was 2 gypsies of the Air Force, of men in Air Force who went inside. We've seen about 3 of those contingents file in. A lot of security being tightened, if you can see right there. There's fresh deployment now, it's a 3-tier security. There is a concerted effort. Now, I don't understand, a lot of people won't understand why, but of course it is protocol is what we've been told, that no visuals of Wing Commander Abhinandan actually get leaked. And Anand, one of this was also witnessed at a point when every possible video on YouTube of Wing Commander Abhinandan was taken down. Yes. And even today, we've had no word. When we spoke last to Hamza, we had no word whether or not Pakistan is going to continue its beating of retreat. It is happening as we speak. So possibly we will get visuals there, but nothing here in India.
Absolutely, because the government is trying to make sure that we don't fall trap into the Pakistani propaganda machinery. The manner in which they leaked out the video of Wing Commander Abhinandan caught on the LOC, and then another video, he was blindfolded, he was still bleeding then, and then he was narrating out his details, his service number, his name, and then a third video which came obviously under a lot of international pressure and the kind of flak which the Pakistani government and the army had to face on the social media, following those 2 earlier visuals. And then the final video we saw of him interacting and sipping a tea. So that's the kind of propaganda which Pakistan was trying to carry out. But the Indian government, Indian authorities have ensured that doesn't goes on any longer. And that's the reason why, despite Pakistan insisting that the handing over takes place during the beating retreat ceremony, when the locals and the residents from both the countries are gathered at Attari and Wagah. So the Indian authorities have made sure that doesn't take place. The beating retreat ceremony which takes place, the locals which are gathered there, they've been told to go out. So that ceremony is not taking place. The flag will be brought down as per schedule, as per protocol. But the locals who are there, the tourists who are there, they've been asked to vacate that premises. So the handing over will take place only in the presence of the Pakistani locals who have gathered there, we are told, on the other side of the border as well. And the Air Force officials, of course, they are lined up all there along with the BSF officials to receive their officer. And then the military convoy is waiting right in front of us to receive the Air Force officials along with them, and they'll be escorted here towards the Air Force base. All the necessary protocols are in place. The Punjab police escort is also here, the ambulance is here, and so are the locals for whom Abhinandan is a hero now.
All right, Shiv, this is what it's looking like right now. Once again, I'll ask, and it's a big ask of my camera person to actually take his camera and give you a bird's eye perspective on what we are seeing right here, because a lot of people now, the mood was quite, like they say, the josh was very high till some time back. The drums have started beating, the flag is still there, but everybody is just now waiting, because it seems, and especially the kind of movement that we've seen, Shiv, it's any time now.
Okay, it's any time now. I want to bring in Air Marshal Anil Chopra and General Shankar Prasad as well. Air Marshal Chopra, the Indian authorities playing it safe, playing it cool, let the procedures go, let's not make a spectacle of this yet. It's too important an issue to, take too many risks with, especially when public sentiment is already high. Take us through the processes now, Air Marshal Chopra. Once Abhinandan is handed back to the Indian side, what happens then?
the first and most important thing that has to happen once Abhinandan comes from the Indian side, it has to shift to Indian Air Force. Because at the border there is a protocol of how the things have to be exchanged, and after it has been handed over to Indian authorities, then Indian Air Force thereafter will take charge of him. They will immediately physically check him. There will be surely a doctor with them in the delegation which is going to receive him, so that if he requires to be taken in a normal vehicle, or should he be taken in an ambulance, depending on what his state is, which we will know very shortly when he comes. And then the convoy with police and military escorts will drive towards the Air Force station. But also some documents will be exchanged. There are all the items that he had with him while he ejected. They would have been listed. A formal handing over of those documents and the items, including his helmet and various other parts of the flying suit, will be given back to them. Also, the other documents that he was carrying will be given. And only after he reaches Air Force Station Amritsar and his medical actions have been completed. Of course, in this period, he will be meeting his family, who will perhaps be in this same convoy, because they are already at the Wagah border. And then after they reach in Amritsar Air Base, will the further course of action be decided? Because normally the chances are the formal debriefs, etc., will now take place in Delhi. Also, if he requires some additional medical checks, that may also happen in Delhi, because you need better medical facilities than what will be available in Amritsar. So that is how the sequence will unfold. Since we are short of time,
yes,
otherwise I could explain to you exactly what is happens in a flight before briefing,
yes,
for a mission or a debrief, and what exactly happens to the body when a person goes through an ejection.
No, we are definitely going to have time to talk about that as well in just a few minutes from now, but and I'll come to that point. But I just want to get you all of these pictures right now, ladies and gentlemen, because there are celebrations, there is some cautious optimism, there is some anxiety. The people of India will be, holding their breath until Abhinandan actually crosses the border and is in Indian hands once again. Preeti and Anand are at the Wagah border. They've been there since early this morning. So they've, Preeti, you've actually had a chance to see all of the emotions that have been captured there today. There's been, a great deal of anticipation, a lot of crowds which had then to be cleared away. You also reported first how the beating retreat ceremony that takes place every evening there has been cancelled for security purposes. They don't want to make too much of a spectacle of it. So where are the crowds now, Preeti? Have people obeyed the authorities and moved away from the site completely, or have they only just been pushed back?
Shiv, it's... Yes, the Indian authorities have decided to play it calm. They just want to, go by procedure, by protocol. But this has been an afterthought, Shiv, because till about 2 p.m., the kind of reactions we were getting in, we spoke to the Deputy Commissioner here, and, what he's primarily told us on camera is that we're going to welcome him. There's a huge welcome that is going to be according to Wing Commander Abhinandan. There are people here. They've been allowed to take cutouts, the Indian flag. Something changed, and suddenly at about 3 o'clock, we were told that, the beating retreat is off. Hundreds of those who had filed in were made to make an exit. There was a wave of disappointment, but there were security reasons, and this will be, for the good of Wing Commander Abhinandan, who is going to be released. So nobody complained. There was disappointment, yes. What we've seen since then, and if you can see, there's still a mild beating of the drums. I'll ask Ravikant to actually show you, there you can still see the Indian flags, being hoisted. Some women are actually dancing. All of that is still happening. But most of the crowd, Shiv, because, we are right now cordoned off where the media is. So we are cordoned off into a corner. But the hundreds of people who had gone in for the beating retreat ceremony are now actually lining up the road, trying to get a glimpse of Wing Commander Abhinandan as he comes. And this a lot of them, Shiv, like I myself, and I can say that, have covered the beating of the beating retreat, the ceremony, so many years, and this is one of a kind, because from 10:30 a.m. in the morning we kept seeing a lot of people who have come in. I just had somebody with me, I don't know if he's still around, and I'm going to try and possibly find him, who's come from the Arunachal border, and his thing was that I've come from the Chinese border to the Pakistan border to honor Wing Commander Abhinandan. So that's the kind of emotion that we've been seeing. But we were talking about emotions, especially the emotions of his parents need to be accounted for. They're not here, Shiv. That needs to be corrected. They're still in Delhi. Anand just spoke to Admiral, his father, to Air Marshal, sorry,
yes, Air Marshal Varthaman. I've been speaking to him since morning, and earlier on they flew from Chennai to Delhi with the plan to come to Attari-Wagah to receive their son. But later on, when all this drama unfolded and there was some uncertainty about whether Wing Commander Varthaman will be handed over, what time will he be handed over, so there was uncertainty. So perhaps he was advised by the officials of the Air Force and the Indian authorities there of the embassy to stay put in Delhi. And once things are clear, they'll be informed about it as to when Wing Commander Varthaman will be handed over to the Indian authorities here at the Attari border, and then he'll be flown from here to them in Delhi. So they're not here, the family is not here. Obviously, they must be in touch with the officials in the embassy across the border and the officials of the Indian Air Force, the Air Force attaché, Group Captain Kurian, who's going to walk him to Wagah. He's also there. So the entire protocol is there with the Red Cross officials as per the Geneva Convention protocol. But certainly the family is not here. They are staying put in Delhi and waiting for Wing Commander Abhinandan for arrival in Delhi. Preeti?
This is what it looks like, Shiv. So a lot of people here, but still everybody's just waiting. And Ravikant can keep showing you a lot of tourists here with the faces painted with the Indian flag. You can see, these women there. Maybe I'm going to try and get to them. Let's try and get in a word. कहाँ से आए हैं आप?
हम अमृतसर से रहने वाले हैं।
आप अमृतसर के रहने
जी।
वाले हैं? यहाँ पे क्यों हो?
जहाँ आपको मालूम है हमारा भाई आ रहा है, फौजी भाई आ रहा है, उसकी जोश में आए हैं। हिंदुस्तान में आज गर्व है कि हमारा एक भाई जो आ रहा है वहाँ से, पाकिस्तान से गर्व से आ रहा है और जिंदा आ रहा है। जैसे आपको मालूम है फौजी भाइयों ने उन्होंने कभी हमारे पाकिस्तानों ने कभी वापस नहीं भेजा किसी को, किसी के सिर काट के भेज दे, किसी को कुछ। तो आज हमें अपने हिंदुस्तान पर, हिंदुस्तान की धरती पर, और उसकी जो माँ ने जन्म दिया उस बेटे को, जो अपनी गर्व के साथ अपना वापस आ रहा है हिंदुस्तान में, इससे जब भगवान का करिश्मा नहीं तो और क्या है।
And it's important to note, she's raising a very important point, Shiv, because me and Anand were just talking about that. Yes, we are getting, we are getting Wing Commander Abhinandan back, but what about a lot of those, the 65 war, Shiv, the 71 war, till about 2015, Pakistan still had our prisoners of war of 65. Today, of course, in the morning, the Chief Minister of Punjab wanted to come in to receive Wing Commander Abhinandan, but he did also tweet out, release the prisoners of wars of 71. 48 hours, the country's in celebration, celebrating the return of Wing Commander Abhinandan. But isn't it, Shiv, also a day to think about those who never quite came back, those who fought wars for us, taken as prisoners of war, 65, 71, still rotting in prisons of Pakistan. And, Anand has filed a report on this. And he and I were just talking about that, because as much as we celebrate today, we need to think what has gone down.
Well, you see, Wing Commander Abhinandan is lucky, he just had to spend 48 hours. But remember, 1999 Kargil war, we were discussing about Lieutenant Nachiketa, when he was taken a prisoner of war. It took 8 days, and he also underwent some kind of torture there. So in that sense, the international pressure and the pressure which the Indian government mounted on Pakistan played its role, that the Pakistanis were not able to torture our war hero this time around. And it's a deja vu of sorts, Preeti. Remember 1999, Lieutenant Nachiketa walked from this very Attari-Wagah border to his home soil after Pakistan's cavity. The then Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee welcomed him in Delhi along with the then Defence Minister George Fernandes. So it's going to play out almost the same way. He'll be flown to Delhi. Obviously, he'll be meeting the Prime Minister Narendra Modi there also. But for now, some movement here. The vehicles are moving here at the ICP integrated check post. We are told around 4 o'clock might be the time when Wing Commander Abhinandan will be handed over to the Indian authorities, and perhaps that's what is playing out. The senior officials have also reached inside the ICP, and also the military convoy is ready to receive him. Preeti?
All right, so Shiv, this is what television reporting is all about now. Since 10:30 a.m., we've been anticipating, lying in wait. Every half hour, things take a very dramatic turn. Let's just hope, that things go according to at least what looks like script right now. Let's just hope in the next 1 hour we have him back home.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you will love to.